Good evening, everyone. This is Srikanth Rajan from MPI Invest. Let us review what happened in the market today. In fact, exactly as we discussed in the morning, the market did take a support, and 17,000 was, of course, a major support. And I'm really happy that market today closed above 17,000 at 17,136. In fact, major support came in from the biggies in the market, none other than Reliance Industries, TCS, Infosys, HDFC Twins, and Tata Motors. Yes, so all these good stocks I told you in the morning, they are good to go, good to buy when they are in dip. In fact, this is the best time to accumulate them, and that's exactly why I did the same today. By the way, I am not a SEBI registered analyst. This is just my view, which I am sharing for the educational purpose. Well, if you look at Reliance Industries, I had discussed in the morning that they are taking a majority stake. In fact, they have taken a majority stake of 51% in luxury fashion brand Abu Jani and Sandeep Khosla. In fact, they have plans to take this global, and that exactly has probably driven the market again. So, I had also spoken about the GRMs, wherein the profitability of refineries are also going up, and that also, together with this acquisition, has driven Reliance up again today. In fact, almost 450 points to the Sensex came in from just these heavy stocks. So that was something good. Talking about Tata Motors also was among the top gainers today, majorly because ICRA actually came up with a report stating that the auto component industry is expected to clock about 8 to 10% growth in the next financial year. So this exactly has given some strength to the auto industry. In fact, you must be aware, for a long time the auto stocks have not been performing really well. So this could be the reason where we could see Tata Motors, and not only Tata Motors, even components makers like Motors was up almost 3% in the day, but of course by end of the day it did erase off a lot of gains there. Now there is this big major concern of the oil prices going up, and of course the Indian inflation is also going up. But something positive that I can tell you is the comment that came in from our finance minister today. Yes, so there was this International Monetary Fund meeting wherein Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman actually said that even though the inflation in India is slightly high, which has come to 6.95, she says it is not too much more than the expectation, because the tolerance band that they had set for India was 4% plus or minus 2%. So plus 4% plus 2% makes it 6%. So 6.95% is not a big number, is what she says, and things can still be in control in spite of the crude oil prices going up because of the global geopolitical tensions. So that is, of course, confident inspiring, and things are looking good on that side. So this could also mean that India can still be in control of the inflation if the crude oil prices comes down after the Russia and Ukraine war. So the only thing which is actually affecting the Indian market right now majorly is the Russia and Ukraine war, which probably has to be taken care of. Again, there is some really good news coming up. That is, the March domestic air passenger traffic was up 36.7%. In fact, if you remember, we had discussed this in the Sunday meeting as well. In fact, this is what is going to affect and support our investment into Indigo. So members who have joined me investing into Indigo, rejoice. We are going to see some positive side that side. Similarly, ACC Cements actually came up with the results. The results were really good. I spoke about it this morning, and after that, the stock has actually jumped almost 5 to 6%. The reason was simple, that the profits were better than market expectations, and also the different agencies, rating agencies, are happy that ACC has been keeping their cost under control, which is a great thing for a cement company. But however, there is a challenge, because these agencies are also stating that this cost may not be in control in the coming quarters, majorly because of the fuel price hike which is happening. So this is something we need to watch out. Coal India continues to rise. In fact, Coal India has hit a 2-year high. A 2-year high, exactly. So the last time it went about 200 was in January 2020, and now in April 2022 is when you're seeing Coal India at a price about 200. Of course, this is a time to start booking partial profits, and that's exactly what we have done in our community. So if any of you are listening to me are not part of our MPA community, do check out the description in the video where you can get details on how to join our community. Coming to United Breweries, they've given a news that the beer consumption volume in India has actually increased in the Jan to March quarter. So before the results come from UBL, we are sure probably they are going to come up with some good results there. Coming to Larsen & Toubro Infotech, I had shared the detail with you in the morning. I told that they have come up with good results, but it was not very good also. But we could see the shares dropping after the results coming out. So that's something negative for a short while, but of course things are not that bad at Larsen & Toubro. So that's something we can still look into over a period of time. Once the bank, probably the fall settles, that would be something I would be looking at adding some more. Coming to HDFC, HDFC has actually come up with this agreement to sell 10% of its share capital of HDFC Capital Advisors to Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. So the 10% of the company would be moved there. So that is not going to affect the market much. But yes, there is some foreign investment coming in that side. So this actually shows that there is some confidence in HDFC. So in fact, for all those members who are actually worried about the HDFC Twins investment for some time, like I told you, nothing to worry. If somebody is again coming in to invest in such a company, it's only confidence building. So this is HDFC being a very fundamentally strong company. There is nothing that we need to worry. And that's exactly why I have a personal holding of which is really high in HDFC Twins, right? So these are things that can actually be looked out. So that's exactly why I am doing a SIP into the HDFC Twins, as well as the good IT sector companies like Tech Mahindra and Infosys, as discussed in the morning review. Coming to defense sector, we can see BEL and HCL also doing really well. In fact, with geopolitical tensions growing, I think the country is actually looking at focusing more on strengthening its internal defense system. So the kind of dependence that India has always had on Russia for their arms and ammunitions. So probably it is kind of fund moving in to BEL and HCL to build in-house systems, defense systems, which could be something really good for the market as well. So that's something that is the reason why you can see BEL and HCL actually performing really well. And I'm sure all of you who added BEL along with me must be sitting with about 25% profit already in just about 3 weeks, which is something really fantastic. I'm continuing to hold it. I did book some partial profit there, but then yes, I'm continuing to hold the same. Sun Pharma had a good news, but still the share did not perform really well. Like I told you, pharma sector does not have huge energy right now. But however, the good news is that the promoter has actually released the pledge of about 1 crore shares, which actually is a good news. That means the company is doing good, and probably there's enough fund in the company. That's exactly why the pledge of shares was taken off. So that can be seen as positive. But however, for being a pharma sector, I'm kind of not going really heavy on pharma sector. I am very light on pharma sector. This is just a news I thought I should share with you. Now coming to tomorrow is a very important day. Of course, the expiry, weekly expiry, where the Gold Plus members, for members who don't know, Gold Plus members are our members in the community who do the trading, intraday kind of trading on their weekly expiry and make some amazing profits. So yes, tomorrow being Thursday, there are just small things to be taken care of. The first thing is, of course, we have the Hcl results coming up tomorrow, but that will be after the market hours only. But as per market reports, the expectation is that the results may not be that great. So though it won't be as bad as Infosys, things would be not as good as TCS also. So it would be something in between is what I see. But if you look at the charts of HCL Tech, it has been on a continuous degrowth for quite some time. It has been a major consolidation. So let me hope that market has actually factored in all this bad part of the result, and I'm not saying bad, but yes, whatever not that great results coming up, and hopefully it takes some support finally and starts moving upwards. I do have some good holdings in HCL Tech, and I am actually looking forward for some moment back in HCL Tech. So that can be a important thing to be watched out, which can be, of course, the result might come tomorrow after market, and we can look at the response probably on the next day, that is Friday only. Coming to steel, we can see that JSW Steel was actually the top gainer in Nifty 50 today. The reason is simple. The Chinese market has actually cut its crude oil production, and there is a news that it is going to be continuing to be lesser in the coming quarters as well, because of major lockdowns, because of rising COVID cases in China. So this is actually increasing the cost of steel in the international market, and that's exactly why we can see the steel stocks going up. So JSW Steel and of course Tata Steel can be a good one to watch out. But yes, since I already have it in my portfolio, may not be adding more in that right now, but yes, we could see some temporary rise in those sectors. Like I told you earlier about Nirmala Sitharaman, our financial minister, talking about the inflation. This happened in the International Monetary Fund discussion. So here, what happened is, in the April edition, they have actually cut down India's estimated growth for 22-23 financial year. Yes. So earlier they had projected it as 9% growth, which has been now slightly reduced to 8.9%, majorly because of the Russia and Ukraine tensions. So that's something which can be slight negative, but not, of course, not a very big thing to actually crash the market or something, but just something that we should be aware of. Coming to global markets, all the global markets were kind of retracting from the losses. The US markets are also kind of, futures are also picked up, so they're also in the positive territory. Of course, Nasdaq is the only one which is, Nasdaq futures are slightly lower thanks to the Netflix results, which I told you already in the morning. So if you've not listened to the morning market report, do check out the other video in our channel, which will talk about the details of Netflix earnings. And that's exactly why I will be actually watching out for the Nasdaq performance today evening. Yes. So once the US market opens, I actually need to see how market would react to the Netflix results, and I am probably expecting some negativity there. In fact, Tesla results are also coming, but then Tesla also may not come up with good results, is what I feel, because Tesla has a major factory in China, and with all the lockdowns in China, Tesla profitability might also be affected. So let us watch out for that. So if Tesla results come out negative, then there are chances US markets can go negative, and probably we could see a small gap down or a flat opening in the SGX Nifty tomorrow. So these are things which we'll be watching out. But apart from that, European markets are all in positive. Chinese market is still in negative. So we can see Hang Seng, Hong Kong and Shanghai markets both in negative. Shanghai is down by 1.35%, and Hang Seng is also down by 0.4%. So yes, things are still not really looking good that side. So that could be, of course, a concern for them. But yes, what is happening is, with all these tensions, and especially US market, which has corrected so much from its all-time high, there are also news that a lot of international agencies are looking more optimistic about the US. In fact, they feel that economic growth in US can be far better than the Asian countries. But among Asian countries, I think the only country which is very good and very promising is, of course, India. The only thing is that Chinese valuations are slightly lower and Indian valuations are slightly higher because of all the bull run that we had last year. So that's the only thing which has to be watched out. However, market can continue to be volatile. Tomorrow can be even more volatile, and in coming months we are expecting some volatility. So what I would look at is buying at dips and booking profits on every rise. That is the kind of strategy I'm moving on to for time being, and this is something which I would like all of us to follow in the community as well. So that's it from my side, team. Hope you enjoyed this report. With that, this is Srikanth Rajan signing off. Goodbye.